Let's have a beautiful experience. In this video, we're going to be talking about lunar dieting, intermittent fasting, prolonged fasting, and how to properly break a fast. It's a beautiful thing. God love it. All right, before we get started here, please do me a huge favor. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the bell notification to be getting more of my, beautiful updates, and it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. I go by Jesus_Detroit on Instagram, YOUNGDAYGO on Snapchat. Please do me a favor, follow me there as well. And in this video, I really want to talk about, the benefits of lunar fasting versus just, a regular everyday fast. And I want to show you guys how to, really, enjoy it, because it could be, for the everyday person out there, giving up food for like 4 hours. They're like, I'm starving, I haven't eaten anything all day. And it's like, this is the beauty thing is, you really start to understand that how many calories and how much food that you're actually consuming. Because it's like, if you're eating some type of Cliff Bar or some type of muffin, and then 4 hours ago, and you're going to say that you didn't eat anything all day, you were greatly mistaken, my friend. You have eaten. It's just, it wasn't a meal, and it wasn't up to your satisfaction of what normally is for you. So that being said, you're going to be able to actually be aware of what you're eating throughout the day, which is a huge benefit for just, any type of, muscle building or some type of weight loss that you want to get into. Being aware is the key. So that, whenever I do a prolonged fast, it's like, because daily I intermittent fast, which is between 15 to 20 hours. And I don't eat nothing, so I'm used to, just going without. And even though that, I'm still having green tea and black coffee throughout the day, those are and the apple cider vinegar. Like, I'll wake up, start my day with like a shot of apple cider vinegar, a little bit of water, get it in you, have some green tea, because I know green tea is, beneficial for the hair. It's full of antioxidants. It's good for your immune system. Whenever I drink it, I always set the intention that it's going to be helping my hair, helping my beauty, helping my immune system. And that's why I love drinking green tea every day. And then after that, of course, once I get my flow going, I have some black coffee, as the day needs it, or usually before I go to the gym. Because you don't really want to just, be slamming down caffeinated drinks. I mean, for some reason, I guess the science claims that black coffee is a pass, you're good with it. Green tea, you're good with it. And apple cider vinegar, this is good. But then there's like controversial things like, can you have lemon water? Some say that the citrus can break a fast. And it's like, well, then how come green tea and, all this other stuff's good? It's like, isn't there like acidity in coffee? And it's, at the end of the day, it's the rules that you're going to allow. Because all these beliefs are really just built on a pendulum around, for one, like somebody's science, like, can we really prove all of it, and like, but if you stop eating all day, you're going to definitely notice huge benefits in your life. That's just a guarantee. So before you even think about trying to do like, going for the, just going for it, just see how long you can go on your own. And usually you can go a lot longer than you think, especially when you put the sleep window in between, your last meal, and you get a nice healthy amount of sleep, which I am blessed to, receive, because I just got done. This is a 72-hour fast we're on right now. 72 hours. And I'm doing it during, the lunar full moon. The full moon should be going down tonight. Technically it's, I did it before it was at it and at its fullest. And I guess it's about to, be waning or whatever. So I got the maximum benefits of all the lunar energy that you can receive with the fast. And the main thing about fasting is cell regeneration. your body will go into itself, start eating all the stuff that it does not need, and will start helping you be the best version of what you can be. And you could look into any type of, there's science that will prove this. There's a whole bunch of other holistic gurus and whatnot that are just really, believing in the fast. I like to do the fast more or less because it takes you out of the everyday, grind of you got to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you got to eat your snack. And these are just consumerism ways of keeping everybody kind of like locked into a schedule. And that's why I like to be more of a free spirit and just find my own way along the way, and understand that you don't have to do it this guy's way or that guy's way. You just got to find your way. And that's what this is all about. So you want to just give something a shot, see if you like it, see what kind of benefits you receive. That's really what it is at the end of the day. It's you trying something, stepping outside your comfort zone, pushing yourself, because with self-discipline comes reward. And you can either count your diet throughout the day, which to me is more difficult, like with keto diets and macro diets where you gotta just get a scale out and weigh your chicken breast, and does it fit my macros? That stuff to me is just, you're either gonna handle it at the end of the day, or you're gonna be trying to figure it out along the way, during the day. And me pushing it off to the end it's just been a lot, more of a beautiful experience for me. It's what works. But if you're somebody that's like, no, dude, I gotta get something, otherwise I get shaky, you know what? That's the story you're telling yourself. It's the story you're living. It's the story of life. Go for it. It's a beautiful thing. I'm telling you, the way that I'm going through it, I enjoy, being able to not have to think about food throughout the day. I know what I can have. I know that green tea is going to help me out. I know that black coffee is one of the best things around, especially when you're fasting. I mean, there's controversial things on that, like should you be drinking, coffee all day? I don't really it's not like I'm drinking, like 10 cups of coffee or something crazy, but, probably like throughout the day, like at least 4, I drink it big, man. I like huge, cups of coffee, and I always get the biggest size, It's like, I don't believe in that little cup, man. If you're gonna it's like, what, even if you're not gonna drink that, just get the bigger cup so you don't spill it everywhere. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I'm like, who are they making these cups for? You know what I mean? So you gotta stand there, and like old school people always buy like a small coffee. I know I'm going off on a tangent, but be as it may, that's the way you can definitely get through a fast, is something that keeps you smiling and keeps you happy. Because you gotta, this is where you gotta keep it clear, because there are gonna be times where you can get the, hangry or whatever. What's up, bear? See, he's a good bear. I just got done running those guys, man, and that's, something that definitely puts me in a high vibe state. After 70, I was probably like 69 hours or something. After doing my, green tea and some yoga in the morning, I'm like, I gotta give them a run. And, I'm telling you what, man, we ride the lightning, me, Bear, and Wolf. I run barefoot. I do about 6 miles or so. And, some people might be like, how are you doing cardio? How are you lifting weights? It's, dude, state of mind, man. And I'm not going to say that I woke up feeling like 100% amazing, even though I slept 15 hours last night, which is a beautiful gift. Definitely can help you with the fast, man. It's just that I sleep really long because I work out really hard. And you'll find that, like, the harder you work out, you will find that you need more sleep. I guarantee it. Like, you go to the gym, you go hard, it's just going to happen. I always, do like 40 minutes of cardio, doing like an hour and a half of yoga and stretching, and then I'll hit like an hour of weights. And I'm not saying that anybody's got to do any of that, you know what I mean? It's just like, you can split it up any which way that you want, but that's the way I like to go about it, because you got to, not only work on, building your muscles, you got to work on building your, your cardiovascular system, your flexibility. This is longevity, you know what I mean? I used to be the guy that would just, protein shake it, lift some weights, maybe just do a quick stretch before I hit the bench press, and that was it. And I see a lot of guys are still in that, and you know what, to at least go to the gym that's a beautiful thing. Get in there, get it in. You got to, you know, any way that you can get it in and get yourself in the door, that's a beautiful thing. So the more you want to progress along the way is on you. And if you keep telling yourself that you can't, then you never will. You got to believe that, you know what, I will be like Van Damme one day. I can, you know, I can do the splits, you know, and you got to keep putting that in your head that, you know, you're going to get there eventually, and just do the stuff to make it happen, you know. And by the way, you know, I'm working on getting them perfect, you know. I mean, every day that's one of my main things. I feel like the more flexible you are, like, what's brute strength if you can't be flexible? You know, it's like, that to me is like the balance and the key, you know, not just with physique, you know, you got to definitely have the flexibility. And I feel like those are the things everybody can do every day. Like, you can work on your flexibility. You can definitely work on, you know, cardio. Those are two things, no brainer. And then plus your abs, like your core, cardio, and flexibility are stuff that you should be trying to do every day, in my opinion. You know, lifting weights you can take a break from, you know, because like I said, waking up this morning, you know, going hard at the gym the other day, you know, my tris are sore, my shoulders are sore, my chest was sore, and even, you know, my abs are feeling pretty good, you know, because I keep them trained. And, you know, my legs are, you know, legs too a bit, but you know what, you push through that, you know, you can do some cardio on top of that. And I knew that I was going to be breaking this fast today. I just, you know, was looking forward to that. And that's another thing that will definitely keep your head clear. Like, you're like, you know what, I know that there's a beautiful meal to have at the end of this tunnel. And that's one of the key factors. That, and knowing that what I'm doing is a huge benefit, you know, that I'm regrowing my body and I'm giving it a nice reset to just, you know, really fill out and start fresh, because your body is technically regenerating itself over and over and over again. You're in a new body pretty much, like, I don't know what it is, every 3 months or every year or something. Like, you're in the new version, man. You could be the new you that you want to be anytime along the way. So you got to just start doing the steps of what your best version in the future would want you to do. You got to ask yourself, be like, you know, you see yourself what you want, and be like, am I happy about this choice I'm making today? You know, would my future self want me to do this? I mean, that's like something, you know, Steve Jobs had some type of crazy saying, like when he woke up and looked in the mirror or something, like, is this the last day of my life? Or would this be how I'd want to live the last day of my life? Which is some true deep stuff, man. It's definitely, you know, yeah, that's beautiful inspiration. But anyways, going to the Lunar diet, about the whole aspect. I mean, who really writes the Lunar diet? Like, I got an app on the phone, and then I look in a couple other scripts and texts, and, you know, a couple threads and, you know, whatnot, and it says that today's the day, yesterday was the day of the pipe, today's the day of the dove. What does it mean? The day of the pipe, the day of the dove, the kundalini, the day of the horse. I mean, the day of the spider, man, the day of the bat, you know. So there's a whole bunch of, like, it's definitely cool to just, you know, look into it, but don't get crazy on it, man. Like, it's easy to want to be like, you start reading the tips of the day, and it's like, this is a great day to not eat meat. It's like, every day is a great day to not eat meat and not drink. Like, that's what it, like, pretty much says, until you get to the cornucopia, horn of plenty day, and like, that's the day that's like, wine is allowed today. And it's like, on any day that they say that you can't drink, because it's like, you got to interpret this stuff your own way, because I'm like, who's the writers, man? Essentially, you're writing your own life. So I'm taking whatever type of information, and I'm helping me put out a different perspective on a message that can help others be their best version, you know. So, you know, I'll read the little, you know, read the horoscope or whatever, and find that today you shouldn't drink. And me, I drink beer like every day. It's part of my life. I don't consider alcohol, you know, like beer, and I don't consider beer like really, you know, an alcoholic thing. You know, I don't drink. It's not like I'm drinking to get past, like to go for a certain high. I feel that beer and wine, you know, they're both beverages. It's not like it's a spirit, like to tequila, which, you know, once in a while you want to crank it up, and vodka. But those are more spirit realm based because it puts you in another world sometimes. You know, like, this is definitely subject for another video, but I'm just saying that when you drink, you know, you're on a bridge, all right? And you can dance on that bridge for as long as you want. Beer, you know, especially with light beer, man, you can party and dance and everything's beautiful on the bridge. You have some tequila, you have some vodka, that bridge is going to be coming up real quick. And once you fall off the bridge, that's when the spirit realm kicks in. And that's definitely something I like to avoid. I mean, you know, some people like to always hang out in that realm, and I just find that, you know, that to me is where, like, all these, you know, gurus will say alcohol will lower your vibration. Because I believe when you're on that bridge, you're actually floating on that bridge, man. Your vibration is high. Being in a good mood is a beautiful thing, because that's the truest way of getting back to source, is being is being happy. You got to find any reason to just smile, man. Like, that's like one of those, like, that's the key to life, man. You got to smile. You got to have fun while you're here. Have yourself a beer, you know. If you don't like it, that's fine. You know, some people don't know how to handle it, and, you know, it's the story that you got to tell yourself, man. Like, if it's something that you feel better about not doing it, then you know what? Be your best you. Enjoy what you got to have, you know. Yeah, because like I said, man, I read these, you know, I read into stuff that can help help me be my best. And like I said, with the lunar diet and the whole fasting, and I just like to do stuff that's off the wall and off the grid, just to keep me like, it keeps you alive. Because when you get into that autopilot mindset of just, all right, you know, going to work every day, and trust me, like, you're waking up every day at a certain time, you're just throwing on a pair of shorts, and then the next thing you know, you're having a coffee and pounding in a floor, and you're just doing that day in and day out, and it's just like, you know what, like, this will just kind of like, it just becomes very redundant, and it's like every day is exactly the same. So you just got to do stuff that's different, you know. Even, you know, this is a free tip for you. Like, just do something that you wouldn't do normally on that day and watch yourself feel happy. Like, drive a different way to work. Go take a dump in the yard. I'm not saying that you should do it, but I mean, if it's something that you totally wouldn't do, it's definitely something that's liberating enough to make you feel like, you know what, I am alive. You know, like, this is just something I wouldn't have done today. I just woke up, you know. If you just do something you normally wouldn't do, you know, and that's something that will definitely put you in a good zone, you know. And I'm not saying everybody should do that kind of thing, but just I'm just wanting you to just do something different, man. It's gonna make you feel alive, man. It's something that, you know, keeps me going, keeps me flowing, and lets me just be the best me that I can be, man. Any day that I can find something different, you know, because even being in a free-spirited lifestyle, you find things that's like, all right, this is kind of routine, but keeping yourself happy is definitely the key to it all. So before I get into about breaking a fast, you know, I just want you to know that never eat angry. You know, it's one of the biggest tips I can say. Like, if you're in a bad mood and you're just like, you know, this would be like my dad, I gotta eat. You know, if you're like that, you know, when you're in that kind of zone where you gotta eat, you know, and you're like hangry or whatever they would call it, it's like, it's no good. You know what I mean? It doesn't make the meal taste any better. And something that I noticed, like that type of, that satisfied, like, it's not really a real satisfaction. It's kind of more like, you know, like you finally did it, but you're not as happy as if you did it with a happy state of mind. You know what I mean? You got to have a, you know, superior attitude, superior state of mind. And that comes with anything that you do, man. So you want to be in a good mood before you eat. Tips for breaking a fast, now that we're at that, is don't try to be Mr. Healthy, man. Like, you know, like a lot of those greens and stuff, like you might want to eat a salad, and that's just not going to help you out in this department, man. Like, you know, I'm not saying that when you break a fast, just go straight into a rack of Oreos or something, because it's very tempting to do stuff like that, or have some donuts or some type of cookies, or just something you want. You know, sometimes you want something sweet. Best thing that you can break the fast with is definitely going to be like, a banana, just because like your stomach has to reacclimate to food. And 60 hours, 72 hours without food, and then depending on you, man, like most of you guys are used to eating every 2-3 hours or getting something in you. You're definitely going to have to let your body reacclimate to eating again. And like anything, like I feel like a lot of dairy based things are no good, like heavy cheese. Dairy's a bridge in itself too. Some people can just have, can drink a gallon of milk and nothing happens to them. But I feel like eventually everybody has their threshold. Like maybe if one guy can drink a gallon of milk, maybe 2 gallons would put him on the toilet. You know what I mean? Because some of us, it's like, some people can just take a shot of it and they're, or just look at a glass of milk and that's what they got to do. But I'm fortunate enough that I can party with, I can have, ice cream and milk and some other things. And you know what? That's another thing I get into is, you can do the dairy diet if you want to really get yourself, a colon cleanse. Because if you drink enough of that, it's going to be coming out of you one way or another, man. And that's something that, like on a cheat day, that I would definitely incorporate. Like if you're feeling really guilty about a cheat day, like where you have, like where you, like me, because I'll eat huge, man. I'll eat like, I can eat like 2 large pizzas, no problem, And then I'll just, finish it with some ice cream. Bam, it's out of you, But I'm at a state where I don't have to really worry about that, because when your body is like, thriving and you get it to where it wants to be, it's going to have a new acclimation. And that's why I like doing these prolonged fasts. It's like, definitely cleaned up some more fat, getting the abs more etched in, making them more brick-like sculpted, make the muscles a little bigger, and that's what it's all about. You have a new homeostasis and you just grow from there, So what I'm going to do right now, and something I've been looking forward to, is we're going to break this fast. And one of the things that I recommend to break any fast, and this might not be good for you, but it's beautiful for me, it's definitely going to be a nice ice cold Coors Light today, but ice cold beer, man. So I wanted to say salute, watching this fast, 72 hours, helping out the collective, helping everybody be your best you. So let's get a sip. Salute. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful, dude, like, I'm telling you what, man, that's a beautiful thing. And some people might be like, breaking your fast with alcohol and blah blah blah, you can't do it. Like, dude, a beer is one of the most healthiest things you can drink. And especially even a Coors Light, if you want to judge and think about things, like, I can't drink that, it's like piss water, I gotta drink craft beer. It's like, look, I drink craft beer too, but if somebody's complaining about one of these, you're probably that guy that shows up to a party with a 6-pack that costs $20 and you don't even put it in the fridge and you're drinking it warm out of a bottle. It's like, look, a craft beer has got to be enjoyed out of the proper, it's got to be enjoyed out of the proper glass, all right? Coors Light can be enjoyed out of the can at any given time, and that's a beautiful thing. Out of the can into the man. It's some Hulk Hogan for you, but I'm feeling like Stone Cold right now. What? You want some type of reward? What? Are you proud? What? And I definitely feel like the Texas rattlesnake right now, holding one of these, man. I feel beautiful. I feel like getting through this fast and having some beer in my hand is definitely an abundant way of living your life, man. It's the way that I like. It's definitely giving me some extra, it's just a beautiful moment for me, and I'm glad to be sharing this with you. Because the next thing I'm going to have is a banana, just to, make sure the stomach's right. But going back to the Coors Light and light beer in general, these things are only like 3% alcohol, which, depending on your ability, really isn't that much. What do you think, like, out of the can that is? Like, maybe up to the bottom words, 3%. Like, that's nothing. This isn't like a shot, all right? So you got a long time. And then plus it's like, this has got wheat and it doesn't have like too many, and then I guess corn in it, you know, because of the Bud Light commercial. But you know, it's just it doesn't have a lot of calories. It's like you're talking about maybe about 100, 120 calories. I know lighter beers like, you know, Miller's around 97, and the carbs are like under 10. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not really like, beer doesn't make you fat. So I just want to get that out of the way. So anybody that calls it a beer belly, like, you got, you know, it's not the beer that's forcing the McDonald's and the Taco Bell down your throat. All right. It's not the beer that's forcing you to make the bad choices. It's your decision on drinking too many beers and making too many bad choices. So remember that. A beer is a beautiful thing. It can definitely be something that can help you out if you really learn to appreciate it. But, you know, like I always like to say, man, everything could be like your first beer. And, you know, your first one could be, you know, a beautiful experience that you'll never forget. For other people, you might be spitting it out. It might take a few cases to get there, you know. So I'm definitely gonna have to get the banana in me in a minute. Beer and a banana, that's how I do it, man. That's how I break my fast, you know. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm gonna have to be doing a barbecue tonight. I gotta do some Sazites and some peppers. And you want to make sure that you break your fast with foods that you're going to be eating, but not overdoing it. You know what I mean? Like putting the banana in your stomach, putting some beer in your stomach. I'll probably maybe have like a granola bar or something, you know, just to kind of, you know, bind it up down there. And then this way, like when I break my, you know, when I have like my real meal or whatever, I'm not going to be all out of whack. And like, if you're going to be one of those persons that like, you're going to just hold off till like a family party or some big feast, that is a huge mistake. Do not do that. I promise you it will not be in your favor. Like, you're not going to want to just not eat for like, you know, like all of a sudden go 20 hours and you're not used to doing that. And, or like when you do like a 60, 70, you know, who knows, 4 or 5 days. If you do a prolonged fast, and then you just like end it at like a huge like barbecue or dinner, it's going to be a disaster, man. You're going to be on the toilet, you know, and your body's not going to bind up everything the way that it should. So that's why I recommend, you know, the first, you know, within the first couple hours, you know, like, you know, you got to be somewhere in like, you know, 3-4 hours. Break it with a banana, some nice simple stuff, and you're going to definitely feel a lot better. Don't try to be throwing no salads or some veggies on this. Your body's just got to reacclimate. You know, that's why, you know, beer is a beautiful thing to have, man. It's full of this is one of the most natural things out there. I can't stop preaching and praising how good a beer is right now because, you know, I love having them every day. You know, maybe, you know, like every day's different. I mean, I'd say like 6 pack, you know, it depends on the day. You know, some days, like if you're out there, like, you know, like on a, you know, vacation type day, you know, they all have the flow. But on a daily, day-to-day, you know, we're talking, I'll average like 4 beers, and some might be craft, some, you know, I might do a wine, I might do a couple glasses. It really depends on where I'm at for the day, you know. But right now, I'm starting it with a beer, man, and I couldn't be happier. It's one of the most beautiful things that you can have, and, you know, give it a shot. I'm not telling you to drink beer, but it's just overall one of the most healthiest things you can have, and there's no fluoride in it, you know. And that's right, man. Your tap water's got way more fluoride than this beer. The bottled water you're drinking probably has more fluoride than this beer, because yeah, I've gone down those rabbit holes of looking into, you know, fluoride and all that. You know, it's like you can't escape it, man. It's always there. You can, you know, get the fluoride-free gum and the fluoride-free toothpaste, and you just try to, you know, it messes with your pineal gland. It's like, dude, my pineal gland is awoken, all right? I have, like, you know, you look at my other videos, man, I have vivid dreams, and, you know, when you get into meditation and all that, that can definitely help you be present to the moment, which is something that I think could really help you in the dream world, because the more present you are, the more you're going to know that you're in a dream. And this is like a recollection I got today, is when you can't control your dreams, like you look back at it, you're like, why didn't I just do this? Excuse me, man. Like, why didn't I just do this? you look back and it's like, I feel like that's what your life is, man. Like your life is kind of like a dream. Life is but like a dream. And you like, you know, you got to be present and aware, like what would have I done? You know, like, oh, I would have did this differently. So you got to think the best, from the best version's perspective of what you would be doing now. You know, you got to just be. So for that, I say salute. I'm going to eat my banana here. Make sure that you guys join me in the Big Cock Collective, the Big Cock Consciousness, where we, you know, grow our penises bigger, wider, thicker, longer, stronger, and harder. I am a coach. I teach people how to be their best versions. I love to get philosophical and just, you know, help people out any which way that I can. I love to learn. I love to grow. And I want everybody out there to be their best version. You know, let's have fun with life, man. Let's really enjoy this ride while we're here. Let's smile, have some beers, let's laugh. And like I said, man, subscribe, hit me up on Instagram. There's going to be plenty more videos to come. And I hope, you know, you guys are beautiful. I love you guys. And I'll be seeing you around. Salud.